Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Well. I am not a member, however, I can enter their layers. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your life may be. Off the dribble, this is along the lines, the title will be what they can't do overtly, they will do legally. Or what they can't, they'll basically, they just gonna find a way to do what they do. It's just repackaged. There's nothing new under the sun. The book of Ecclesiastes tells you that, right? And you know what? Let's just get it. We have other scriptures that we're gonna get, of course. I think it's the 9th verse here. And we'll read that. The thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. And as you can see, we're going to get us, we're going to read through, the second, or really the third witness. We're here with Grub. And we are going to kind of skim through this article here too. And I want you to, on your own, draw the parallels of what we see today, and we'll get into that. But I am going to be speaking, relatively vaguely. If you're not understanding, pray for understanding. Come back and watch, okay? And we're going to piece this together on your own for modern times. So I don't want to read all of it together, but we will grab what we need to grab. I didn't finish the article, but I did read most of it. So, here we go. We're going to check this out, right? And look how they said we had the Bible and they had the land. How the West plundered Africa under the guise of pork flavored, that other white meat. And they did it there. And when they brought the Israelites out of Africa, or West Africa, and they brought them to Babylon, what is known as America, they did the same thing. They traded, they polluted the minds, they perverted the minds, and they went after the children. And that is the same thing that they will do today with a certain act that they want, okay? They will go for the minds of the children. And you cannot convert the old, you cannot convert the stubborn, you cannot convert those that knew life before this, whatever we call, living right now. So the main goal is to, get rid of the old and then take the minds of the children. But anyway, let's read through this and see some of these sneaky and underhanded tactics. And that is why the scriptures tell you, alright, Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10, to never trust thine enemy. And now that you have something to look back on, you know that this devil truly is your enemy. You didn't know it at the time. I don't see how, but now you see. Alright, for decades, humanitarian aid has been the epicenter of Western engagement, right? So that's their idea of foreign policy. On the outside, it looks like we're here to help. We're here to give you whatever you need. Alright, just let us know. But on the inside, it is a brutal and hostile takeover with land theft, resource theft, and is taking advantage of the people in a low, in a low state, or maybe they've even caused that collapse, so that way they can come in and say, hey, I got what you need, I can help you out. Just, sign right here on the dotted line. Just make everything fair. We need for tracking purposes, we need to know how much we've given you. And then you've essentially signed away your rights of autonomy, your rights to your own land. And now somebody else controls what was given to you, alright, or what belonged to you generationally. Largely depicts a continent lacking essential needs from food, medicine, governance, and human rights. But while this act largely encapsulates the ideal cooperation and generosity, history offers a reminder that beneath some of them lie hidden dark secrets that perpetuate a sense of dependency and effort that hinders Africa's progress. And not only that continent of Africa, but worldwide. There's a saying that says the sun never sets on the British Empire, right? And we understand that the 8th, which is Babylon, is of the 7th. So let's get that. I'm gonna just leave it there. See if it takes. I think it's in Daniel. Golly. I don't even need that. Okay, fine. The 8th. Alright, so let's see. Of the 7th, let's see if we can get that out of it. Because I believe it's in the book of Daniel. Okay. Alright, from the 7th. Something like that. We're gonna get it though. We gonna find it. Oh, it's I thought it was in Daniel. It is in Revelation. Okay, no, it's not. 7 angels, then the 8. Even he is the 8. No. Come on, man. Is that it? That's for the beast that will. Aha! Or as they say, aha! The 8th. Come on, man. You don't need my shit, brother. Alright. There we go. Okay. So, come on. We're just going to go to the blue letter. Revelation 17 and 11. I could have sworn that was in Daniel. Okay, so we'll scroll up, get our Doom of Babylon. Okay, there's our title here. Alright, there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space, right? And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7th. Alright, that 7th is the British Empire, and the 8th, alright, because you had the Revolutionary War when the empire sent the dregs of its society over here to pillage, plunder, rape, rob, murder, do all manner of wickedness, from sun up to sundown, all day, every day, because that's all they know, and not bathing. Over here to our Northern Kingdom brothers, right? Okay, so the 8th is of the 7th, alright. What did I read? And goeth into perdition. Okay, 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom, and yet but receive power as king 1 hour with the beast. Okay, but what we needed here, because I want to stay on topic, alright? If you need a breakdown of Revelation 17, I will do my best to find it and just put it in the description box. But we want to stay, I just want to get that precept and kind of stay on topic as best as I can. So you have the 8th is of the 7th, and then, what did I say? Learn how to type. The sun. Yeah. Who said that? The phrase, the sun never sets on a British empire, was first written by George Macartney, 1773. Though the concept of a sun never setting on an empire exists before this, and the phrase was popularized later. McCartney described this vast empire in which the sun never sets in a letter of Britain's victory in the 7-Year Wars. While McCartney wrote the first recorded version, other writers like John Wilson later used it. Okay, so basically they just all over the place. And that was also a hand in scattering the children of Israel to the 4 corners, right? Be it by way of trade, of human resource. So we got that. Okay, what else? So let's keep reading here. Historically deceptive benevolence disguised as humanitarianism dates back to the colonial era. Now, what do we have today where it is a manufactured type famine, manufactured shortages of things, people not getting paid? They want to back the common man, the everyday people into a corner. Why? They caused the problem, but they have the solution. And that we will see an example very soon here of deceptive benevolence disguised as humanitarianism. And again, I need you to read between the lines, okay? especially when reading Revelation 13 and 16. We all know where that is, and we all know what's coming. Okay? Disguised benevolence. Alright. You know what we also need? If he doeth good, he does not willingly. I think that is Wisdom of Solomon. Or maybe Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach. If he 14 and 5. Why not just open it up? Ecclesiasticus or 14. Do I want to? Yeah, we'll go straight here. Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach 14 and 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his good. Hold on now. Didn't I just... Oh, hold on. Did I not get that right? I should have. There's no one worse than he that envies himself, recompenses his wickedness. Did I not just get that? Am I tripping? That covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion. Hey, that applies. And the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. And the wicked eye envieth his bread, and he is a niggard at his table. Let me go back. Maybe I didn't read it right. 14 and 5, right? 7. Okay, I just didn't read all the way down. Oh, I skipped it. Damn. I'm all over the place. Bear with me. Please bear with me. Okay, so let's go back to it, because I might need to keep Ecclesiasticus up. Anyway. Yeah, so here it is, 14 and 7, not 14 and 5. And if he does good, he does it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. Okay? The envious man hath the wicked eye, and he turned away his face, and despiseth men. We got this verse, alright, dates back to the colonial era, particularly in the DRC. After the discovery of vast natural resources, which probably, you know, if you today look at or really within the last 30 years, places that had vast amounts of natural resources, to include different countries in Africa, also in the so-called Middle East, that is Western Asia. There is no such thing as Middle East. That is a construct, more pseudoscience from the physical representation of Satan on earth. But yeah, you can look within recent years of people or people groups or places that have vast resources, how they all of a sudden need civilizing, how they need humanitarian aid, how they need to be delivered from their evil, wicked rulers. But hey man, the joy of the hypocrite only lasts for a little bit, right? How dare the biggest hypocrite, you know, they want to spread freedom and all this other stuff and try to pretend to be upright and this and that, while at home they treat the children of Israel still as 3/5 of a human, hell, maybe even 1/5 now. But anyway, let's keep going here. After discovery of the vast natural resources, the journalist Henry Morton, Belgium's notorious King Leopold, contacted him and convened the Brussels Geographical Conference. Alright, it was promoted as humanitarian mission to quote-unquote civilize the region in the Arab slave trade, sponsor Stanley's expedition, and open the Congo to global commerce, which in practice meant trade in looted goods, right? So you take people's land, covet them by violence, and then now you want to trade with things that never belonged to you. Goods by colonial invaders. Alright, 1877, Leopold, fucking king. Leopold called for the establishment of the International African Association, ostensibly a humanitarian organization. So in cover, on paper, it was a humanitarian organization, but in practice, it was everything but. Although Stanley's expeditions were largely financed by the New York Herald, we don't really care, blah, 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 blah. But you do need to, for other reasons, pay attention to the money. Follow the money, okay? Follow the money. And it will lead you to, well, you know where they lead. To people who love money the most. And I think you know. Anyway. Government was reluctant to add Congo to its already burdensome colonial holdings. Okay. Do we need that? Recognizing that Leopold's proposed humanitarian organization would not simply occupy territory but serve as a vehicle for trade in looted resources. So he had to propose like it was a, like to stand to benefit. Alright? Let's see. He did it in secret. And again, you can go to this, or I'll pretty much link. Check the description box. You'll be able to see this. And Revelation 17. I need to write that down, otherwise I won't remember. Betrayal of the Congo, which means you can interchange this with I don't know how many different nations. Okay, you can interchange betrayal of insert whatever country. Throw a rock or spin the globe if you have one, and then stop it and put your finger on it. Alright, that is interchangeable. It's not just the Congo. And they are also in the news as of late as well. You should look into that. Alright, Leopold skillfully used international IAA to secure more than 450 so-called, and there you go, so-called treaties. I did a video, what was it, maybe 3 videos ago about treaties being broken. And he did it with the local Congolese chiefs under the guise of friendship and trade agreements. Never trust thine enemy. Okay, and what else we need? Psalm 55. Before we go any further. Oh. Alright, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords. And you see that throughout the dispensation, or throughout all instances and dispensations of time, for as long as colonialism has been a thing. Where did we leave off? Many drafted in European legal languages, and there you go. See, what they cannot do overtly, they will do legally. Why would you draft something in a language that the people don't speak unless you already had ill intent? You had an ulterior motive. And the chiefs unknowingly leased their land and vast natural wealth to him. To further mislead the world about his real intentions, he established another body in 1879, the International Association of the Congo, the IAC. Unlike the IAA, his leadership role in IAC was openly acknowledged. Yet, he continued to present it as a humanitarian organization. And if we did not have the internet where we can get things in real time, these very practices would be going a lot smoother today than they are, a lot smoother than what they are currently, what you see today. Let's see. So, feigning a noble mission of humanitarian assistance. This post paid off. Okay. Once Washington had given its blessing, European nations gathered in Berlin were effectively pressured to follow suit. Recognition of Leopold's claim to the territory paved the way for what would later be called the Congo Free State, a grotesque misnomer. And it certainly was not. You can look into Leopold and see his very, very brutal practices. Okay, so again, you can go through this article. All right. Oh, he kind of like Jake right here. It's into the very recent. Yeah, we got what we needed. So, yeah, you can look into this article on your own. I'm gonna link it, but we're gonna keep it pushing here, and you can see I went ahead and asked Grok. Yeah, there we go. All right, yeah, I went ahead and asked Grok, how is Christianity used to support colonialism, such as how King Leopold gave rise to the guise of humanitarian aid? As you read through it here, um, they misused the Bible, and that's why you had, in recent past, and some people who still really just completely, they're cooked. They have no way of critical thinking. They think that the Bible is fake because your abuser, your oppressor got a hold of it, but it is a sword, and it depends on the wielder. Okay, that is why it was a misuse, a misrepresentation. Right, Great Commission, they use things, right? The theological rationale, Great Commission, therefore to make disciples of all nations, right? But if you read through this, all you have to do is read, man. Read through the scriptures, and these devils, they only used the Bible as a facade, but they never followed anything in it. They have not, and they will not. They are incapable of doing it. They only do what fits their needs at the time. Okay, concepts like white man's burden, you can read through these. Racial superiority, why? Because Christianity, aka Catholicism, and white Jebus, they go together. That white Jebus is the patron god of Babylon, and he looks like your oppressor. And as long as they have that in your mind, you are a defeated people. But they did not account for Yahweh Bashem outside, putting forth his spirit. All right, when he says, when he tells you, young men will prophesy and dream dreams. How about we just do that? Dream dreams. Acts 2 and 17. Okay, Joel 2 and 28. So let's do Joel. We'll do Joel first. Joel 2 and 28. Alright, the promise of the Spirit, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days I will pour out my Spirit. Not only do you see that among the heathen, but of course you have the actual true biblical bloodline Israelites that are getting revelations, of course, because that is who it's for. And you have the men on the street corners, and on the internet pushing this out. They did not account for the Spirit of the Lord going out and actually setting the record straight, and you seeing it in real time. This is the day of the Lord here. Let's see. All right. Okay. So yeah, and obviously the remnant that will be blameless in the very near future. We will need the remnant. Prayerfully, you and I, listening, learning, preaching, and teaching sincerity and truth, we are of that number. Okay. And we're just going to skim over this because what I really want to get to is the bottom. I ask a different question. All right. And we'll get there. Institutional support, missionary societies. All right. So you kind of establish cells, basically. If you look at this as a T organization, these are nothing but cells, and they go out and they're strategically placed in areas, and they go out and they quote unquote evangelize. And that is a heavy quotation that I use there. All right. And you can also interchange that with Babylon or America, or hell, anywhere. Economic and political cover, mass slavery as a resource extraction, and because this devil hates the truth, they love to sugarcoat things when it does not show them in a favorable light. They love to play with words. Okay. You will never hear them be straight. Truth is their enemy. Our transatlantic slave trade was defended by some clergy citing the curse of Ham. There you go. There's your misrepresentation yet again. And also calling you Hamites, knowing good and well. Okay? Zondervan's Bible Dictionary tells you Ham was a progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negro. And you can tell the difference between a Hamite and an Israelite. Okay? We look completely and totally different. Even the spirit is different. Even the skin, we glow. I mean, some Hamites do, but in general, it's really, more importantly, it is a spirit thing. All right. Let's see. Humanitarian facade. Okay. Publicly framed as Congo Enterprise as philanthropic crusade against the Arab slave trade. Right. So they pointed the finger and made, Ishmael the bad guy, when really, and I'm pretty sure they projected, because that is another thing. There's another tactic. The things that they are doing, they project onto others. Okay. He hosted the Brussels Geographic Conference, the country open civilization, the only part of our globe where it has not yet penetrated, to pierce the darkness which envelops whole populations, is a crusade worthy of this century of progress. Okay, missionary involvement in propaganda. You can also read through this on your own. Take a screenshot. All right. Okay. Oh, an African American Presbyterian missionary. Look at that. Using J. They use it. If they can't get you, they gonna send somebody that kind of look like you. They gonna send skin folk. But understand that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Okay. And that even goes for those who are of Israelites. All right? They do not, you have the 2/3 and you have the 1/3, the remnant. Okay, but for this purpose, all right, they tried to send skin folk over there to, ease them into their very own oppression. Okay. Let's see. Okay, he reported positively at first, but by 809 years later, exposed atrocities in journals like the Kasai Herald. Okay, you should look that up. Most missionaries, however, stay silent or complicit. Some justify violence as a necessary end to cannibalism and idolatry. How ironic! How ironic! What did I say about projection? Okay, so here's the next question that I asked. History always repeats itself. Since Christianity is a played out tool, what would a modern day colonizer use? Okay, hypothetically, of course. So, here's where you use your brain, and we're going to go into some hypotheticals. Is it true? I don't know. Maybe, probably. But let's see. Okay, a 21st century neo-colonizer would no longer wave a cross in the Bible. The old civilizing mission has been replaced by a slicker. Is that what we need? Did we get that? Did we get Psalms 55 and 21? We did. And before we continue reading on, what we also need is Revelation 6. Before we keep going. Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red. Okay, and when you can link red or serpent or dragon, okay, that will always be E. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, whose blessing was the sword, according to Genesis. All right, you piece that together. Not pay attention. What am I trying to say? Piece it together and do figure it out. There you go. So whenever you see red, crimson, scarlet, serpent, dragon, Satan, you understand that is a synonym for the nation of Eve. Okay. That was the old. But yeah, he's slicker. What does Genesis 3 tell you about the serpent being more subtle than any beast of the field? All right, secular toolkit still does the same job, providing moral cover for the resource extraction. So there is your overarching uh, modus operandi, right? You need a cover, and then you need I'm sorry, a moral cover for resource extraction. There's one. Your labor control. There's two. A geopolitical dominance. Okay. And there's a new catechism is sustainable development, human rights, and counter T. Here's how the playbook would look. All right. So here's the old tool. Saving souls. Modern replacement. Wow. How it masks exploits. Okay, so you need your moral cover here. Green. What is that? There's that famous word. All right, protected biodiversity zones. Lithium cobalt mines for EVs are fenced off from locals under UN Red or ESG banners. All right, because EVs are quote unquote better for the environment. Abolishing slavery. Abolishing slavery and paganism, /paganism, modern replacement, poverty and extremism. So if say a hypothetical place was purposely pushing people into poverty, all right, they've created the problem. They already have a solution to get you out of it. UBI, maybe, I don't know. What else did we read in Revelation 13? Okay, you piecing this? I hope you are. All right, here's your example. Microfinance traps in non-governmental organization driven capacity building and well, this is a really good hypothetical. You see that? Turning villages into data mineable labor pools. Missionary schools teaching obedience, STEM scholarships, and coding boot camps. Fly the smartest kids to Singapore or Silicon Valley, wire them into global supply chains, let them police their own communities via You should, why not? Actually, we'll have, let's do this. Before we do, let me continue on, but I'm gonna just put this in here. Damn, okay. Maybe not. What did I say? You gotta play dumb with them motherfuckers sometimes. But let's continue reading before I hit enter because it'll throw off my page. Okay. We did that World Bank arbitration. Okay. Paper bulls granting terra nullius. Okay. So let's get that in Latin. Pretty much. Terra nullius is a Latin term meaning land belonging to no one. Interesting. People live there, but it don't belong to anybody. Interesting. Alright, such as Britain and Australia, to justify seizing land they were already inhabited by indigenous peoples by claiming it was unoccupied. While its legal application is now controversial and overturned in many contexts like Australia, it can still be applied to unclaimed territories like certain areas of Antarctica or disputed border regions. Okay. What they cannot do overtly, they do legally. Damn, there you go. Okay, World Bank arbitration. All right, legal terra nullius, investor-state dispute settlement. Let a mining CEO Sue a sovereign nation, okay, for loss of fortune profits if locals block a dam. Okay, so you can be sued if you do something to your own land, that your sovereign land, if you need it for food, if you need to block a dam because it is flooding your town or your city, or it is, whatever, what have you, it is for the benefit of the people. But legally, you don't own this land. This is mine. Now I can sue you. Oh, you don't have money? Fine. I'll sue for whatever resource you have. And if you don't agree, sounds like you need some democracy. You know how it goes, hypothetically speaking, of course. Force public with, I don't know that. Public with, oh, the with, okay. So, cobwebs. What is, alright. Is that Chakot or is that Chakotay? I don't know. We're gonna see. Corporal punishment, basically. Okay, so it's a representation for corporal punishment. Forced labor, the local population through brutal flogging. Okay. Right. So same practice you saw here during the during slavery. Modern replacement, private military contractors, and AI surveillance. So that is a modern day mercenary, supposedly, hypothetically, and you there go undergo rebrand, stability operations. Okay. Oh, who's that? Wow. Wow. Alright, so the new Trinity, 3 pillars. You got that, you got that, and you got that. Slogan, we fight them there, so we don't fight them here. Interesting. Case study. A lookalike CEO launches the Andes Green Corridor with some random, right here on a Zoom call. Okay, climate displacement, relocation as a voluntary resilience migration, extraction. Pumps runs 24/7, water tables collapse, but satellite data is fed into sustainable mining dashboards. Drone. Oh. Protest leaders lose Starlink access. Oh. And can't cash their tokens, man. What's happening? Alright, when it's gone, sells their rehabilitated salt flats as, wow. So linguistic tales what to listen for. Oh, the light of a false idol pierces the darkness. New. Wow, look at the gun. Technology is your god, brother. So when the scriptures tell you that power was given unto the beast and he can speak, right? Is that what we read? 13 and 4? Give life. 13, 15. Give life to him. From the earth He had 2 horns like a lamb, spake as a dragon. He exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first one, whose deadly one was healed. Right? You got Rome and Rome 2.0, where we live in now. He does great wonders, so that he make fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Alright, he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth. That means by those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that she should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And power was given unto, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause them that as many should not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay? Technological idol. Right? Technology is your new God. The cloud is your God. Because what does Eve want to be? Like the Most High. He will ascend above the clouds. He will be like the Most High. He will see all. He will know all. Or he will make that attempt. You piecing this? I hope you are. I truly do. Alright, so let's get it, go a little bit more, and then that'll be the video. Okay, so we got, I asked, we're gonna, what is FinTech app? So we're gonna look at that. What's FinTech app? Financial technology application. A mobile or web-based software tool that uses cutting-edge technology, blockchains, data analytics to deliver financial services in a faster, more accessible way than traditional banks. Think of them as your pocket-sized money manager, trader, or lender, disrupting old-school finance by making it cheaper, quicker, and often gamified for everyday users. Okay, so what will that lead to? Because eventually, it's all going to be consolidated, right? And all your information and your buying and your selling will be in the old injectable for detectable. You see what I'm saying? What they can't do legal, or they can't do overtly, they do legally. And are you drawing these parallels from then to this hypothetical situation that I am presenting to you now? Your little tap to pay and all these things, you can send it all electronically, quick and easy, right? Let's see, quick breakdown what they do. Yeah, so we got the digital banking, okay, payment, transfer, investing, trading, personal finance, lending and credit, insurance. Gotcha. Okay, FinTech exploded with smartphones. All right, so but the idea was always to merge man and machine. Okay, hypothetically, in this weird hypothetical dystopian story I'm telling here, because I mean it's not really true. I'm just telling a story, and maybe you can kind of see, you know, how art imitates life. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, I think the point's been made here. We got what we needed. Let me see if there's anything else I need to glean from this. But this was a pretty heavy hitter, especially the second question. And if you know how to word things, you get what you need to get. Okay. So I pray, I truly do. I pray that you were edified, and I pray that you stuck with me. I know we kind of bounced around and we did a lot of reading, quite a bit of reading. But I will do my best to remember to link this and a Revelation 17 breakdown in the description box. So please take a look at that, and along with the other playlist of other edifying videos. So with that being said, I truly pray that you were edified, and on to the next. Shalom.